The Megumin Spin Off had me so excited, man. This was without a doubt one of my most anticipated anime of the season, and it's just been, well, meh. I feel like my expectation of the show was pretty much like our girl firing off that good old explosion magic of hers with that huge build-up, massive drop, and then, yeah, flat out. Flat out straight after that, except there's no Kazuma to carry my sorry ass back home. In a nutshell, it's basically been as flat as Megumin's chest. And yeah, while there are many a battle cry for flat is justice, in the case of the Megumin spin-off, I've just found myself much like that of the typical flat-chested anime girl. As I stare off at the huge racks of the others, wishing mine were more like theirs, which in the case of this weird-ass metaphor I'm going for, is the other anime that are airing this spring season. I, like so many other anime fans, am a huge fan of Konosuba. Konosuba is just a real one-of-a-kind anime that is held by most in the most highest of regards. When it first dropped in 2016, when isekai was a fresh genre at its peak, Konosuba was a massive, massive hit. Come on, man, Konosuba, the legendary tale of Kazuma, Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness as they attempt to overthrow the Devil King. It's one of the funniest, most epic god-tier anime to appear in years, and try as other shows have, nothing has come close to it. And the one who quite literally exploded in popularity, pun obviously intended, was of course Megumin, whose personality and humorous timing is always right on the mark. I just feel like her popularity rose higher than any of the other characters, who are all super popular in their own right, but dare I say that Megumin became almost an iconic anime character, of course in my personal opinion. So to hear that we were going to get a spin-off on her backstory sounded like a total no-brainer, and I was just so damn excited for it. Especially as it's been so long since Konosuba's second season. Like, I know we've had the movie, which was freaking hilarious, and talks of a season 3 are out there, which, you know, has me all sorts of excited. So yeah, news of a Megumin spin-off getting an anime adaptation was more than welcome. Yes, we're desperate for a third season, but make no mistake that I was equally as excited about this. However, unfortunately, although having its moments, Konosuba, an explosion on this wonderful world, severely lacks the magic, the je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi? That's right, isn't it? French. Je ne sais quoi. What's that even mean? Je ne sais quoi. A quality that cannot be described or named easily. Cool. Yeah, it severely lacks the magic that main series has. And it's sad, man. It really is. Like, I wanted this show to be so much more than it has been. Don't get me wrong, it's not been horrendous. It's not a bad anime at all, but it's just a little off compared to all the other Konosuba media we have. Like, Megumin is a character that I would have thought had more than enough about her to create a really cool and hilarious bunch of stories around. And we of course have Union thrown in there for more of that classic Megumin and Union back and forth, but I just feel that I'm always waiting for just a little bit more from the show that it never comes. I think the main thing that is very noticeable is the absence of Kazuma, Aqua, and Darkness. Yeah, I know this is a spin-off based on Megumin's backstory before she meets these guys, but the more I've watched this show, the more I've noticed just how important they are to Megumin's character, especially Kazuma. You usually find with Megumin's character, when it comes to her humor and the comedic value that she brings to the show, she is almost always delivering the punchline to the joke. But I just feel that in the spin-off, there really isn't that character or bunch of characters there to give her the joke to deliver said punchline to. Yes, there is Union, and we have seen a few other characters like the girls at her school or others dotted here and there, but they are all they just feel like background characters rather than a strong group in which to pull off a dynamic to make the jokes work. I just feel like Megumin is having to make the joke and then deliver the punchline too, and for me, that just isn't her character. I feel like the show should have introduced 2 more characters to add to both Megumin and Yunyun. 2 characters that they could have spent a bit of time building as kind of main side characters along them, and we would have had a much better show and story for that matter. Like, I'm not saying that they needed to replace the Kazuma, Aqua, and Darkness dynamic, but I think the show would have been so much better if we had a couple more support characters to work with in the mix each episode. I'm also not saying that the Megumin spin-off has been completely dry of humor and all that bad. There have been parts that are funny, just as you'd expect. Megumin is still hilarious in her own Megumin way, you know, whether she's scrounging for cheap food, trying to sell off Chimosuke, or being envious of everyone's larger boobers. You know, the Megumin we all know and love is still there, plain to see. And as Megumin's partner in crime, Yunyun has really come into her own as the two improve one another's abilities. And I think the biggest development we have seen from this spin-off is very much all in Yunyun, to be fair. And I think that's a good thing. I already liked Yunyun as a character, but I feel like her character really did thrive from the spin-off. And that's the real weird case about it. With a spin-off, you usually think that you're going to get more development and backstory for the character it's based on, as well as, you know, maybe a bit more depth on the side characters associated with them, which in Megumin's case is Yunyun. But I feel the Megumin spin-off has done more for Yunyun's character, and Megumin is kind of the side character development-wise in this case. But yeah, like I said, the Megumin spin-off is far from a car crash, and I'm still watching the show into week 10 at the time of this video's making, so I'm definitely not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying that it could and probably should have been much better in terms of Konosuba's standards. Like, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That, you know, that old dagger, I hate hearing that, man. Chills, but I couldn't think of the right phrase other than that one. At least it wasn't more French. And I know we shouldn't compare it too much to the Konosuba we all know and love, but there are aspects you'd expect, right? In comparison to the original, each episode of the spin-off just tends to lack a standout scene or moment. Like, there isn't much in an episode that really sticks out in the series, apart from the obvious Megumin's debut explosion, which was so sick, but even the thud of her passing out after is lacking in that comedic effect from the main series. There's just nothing particularly compelling for, you know, us, the fans, to see in the spin-off, and it merely goes through the motions, which I just feel disappointed in for a series that's, you know, about one of the most well-known anime characters ever. It's, yeah, disappointing. Gotta say though that Megumin's VA in Rai Takahashi has always done an absolute stellar job of voicing Megumin, and she just nails it every time. In the spin-off, it is absolutely no exception. She is absolutely on point here. Toyosaki has also been killing it as Yunyun, and the animation of the show is very much on point to Konosuba, and the explosion animation, man, it is just as gorgeous as it's ever been. But I've got to say, my favorite thing about the spin-off has easily been its music. The OP is a catchy little number which stays true to the Konosuba vibe, but the ED, man, damn, like, I've had that sucker on repeat. Like, it may even be the best ED of the season. I said it. You heard it here. Yeah, it's an absolute banger, and you have to check that out if you haven't yet. So yeah, as someone who absolutely loves Konosuba, it's sad that the Megumin spin-off didn't meet my expectations. And yeah, I'm a guy who's overly optimistic, and I'll always try to find the good in something. So it's harder for me to say that the Megumin spin-off wasn't as great as I thought it would be. Totally had its moments, and there are aspects of it I really did enjoy, but overall, I'm just a little sad about it, man. But hey, here's to season 3 of Konosuba, which I hope isn't that far away. Now, while you wait for the next video to drop, why not check out this video where I talk about a really great anime this spring season which will fill you full of laughs in Mashle, Magic and Muscles. But that is it from me. I will see you very soon. Take care of yourselves till then. Peace, peace.